We have been studying about personality and the different theories of personality. There's also what is called personality disorders. Now, there's three clusters. In other words, they're divided up into three clusters. Altogether, there are 10 personality disorders. And there will be an assignment in assignments concerning the various disorders. We're going to go through with a brief descriptor of these various disorders, starting with cluster A. That's the odd or the eccentric disorder. And this is kind of interesting because they have them grouped in a way that there's some meaningful characteristics between each of the disorders within a cluster. So cluster A is odd or eccentric disorders, and the first one is paranoid. Paranoid is kind of not really a necessary fear, and these individuals distrust others and an unjustified belief that other people are trying to harm or deceive them. Now, you have to listen to these very carefully because I know many individuals with a paranoid personality disorder, and they feel as though that others are trying to harm them, trying to get the best of them. And they have an extraordinary amount of fear concerning this. Then we have the schizoid personality disorder. And if there are any of the disorders that the term hermit, individual that lives by himself, would apply to, it would be an individual with schizoid personality disorder. Now, there's some overlapping here, and at least perceived it is not schizophrenia, but there is a connection here or a likeliness. So a schizoid personality disorder is a hermit. Doesn't care to be around people, doesn't care to socialize, very happy being with self and being by self. The third and last personality disorder is the schizotypal personality disorder. These individuals are just odd. That's all you should say about them. Maybe odd in their thoughts, odd in their dress, odd in their mannerisms, and they have what is called flat, F-L-A-T, flat emotions. In other words, they don't show emotions, and sometimes they may show an incorrect emotion. So these individuals here then many times will speak up. Schizoid will not. Schizoid is the hermit, but these individuals will speak up, but they do have some odd thoughts. Then in cluster B, the dramatic, emotional, and erratic disorders, the first one that we have is antisocial disorder. And this disorder is also known as a sociopath, an individual who may know right from wrong, but doesn't care, and will trample on the rights of others, will harm others with no remorse. And I think that no remorse is really an important concept here. Another interesting aspect of antisocial personality disorder, a sociopath or a psychopath, they're all included the same thing, only different names. But these individuals, since they do not care about the rights of others, even though they may know right from wrong, they just don't care. There's a theory is that since they do have somewhat a little bit higher IQ or a higher IQ, that what not caring does, it will free up the mind to go ahead and indulge in other aspects. Most individuals are concerned about right and wrong. Did I say the right thing? Did I do the right thing? And they're concerned about it. Antisocial personality disorder are not concerned and they don't care. Borderline personality disorder is characterized by being called, I'm going to say, fire and ice. Because emotionally, one time they can be very warm and another time they can be very cold. Now, the important thing about this is that they do this to an extreme, and you never know whether they're going to be up emotionally and be happy or whether they're going to be down, and it doesn't require any change in the environment. Histrionic personality disorder, I would almost assume that most of you, if not all of you, know someone with a histrionic personality disorder. These individuals want to be the center of attention. And so often, histrionic personality disorder is typified in women. You will say that they're at a gathering, men and women are at a gathering. There may be one woman that likes to be with the men because of the attention that she receives. Now, it's very important that they receive this attention. Having said that, they can also be very depressed because of the attention that they are not receiving. So they are very focused on receiving attention. The narcissistic personality disorder is interesting because they love self. I do the best. I have the nicest shirt on. I have the best glasses on. I have the nicest hairdo. Everything centers around them. And of course, if you recall, Narcissus, he looked in a pond or a river. I think it was a pond. And he fell in love with his own reflection. And of course, he was somewhat deemed to stay in that position then, and as a result of falling in love with self. And basically, that's a good description. A narcissistic individual is someone who's in love with self. Avoidant personality disorder. These individuals will avoid groups, they will avoid gatherings. They're not like the paranoid. The paranoid may also, but the paranoid is fearful. An avoidant just wants to avoid the group because it is very uncomfortable. A dependent personality disorder is one who is very dependent on others because they have a feeling of helplessness. And since they have this feeling of helplessness, they feel dependent and they want others to help them. Now, I could go into codependent, but I'm not going to at this time, even though that it is a pretty good term, I think, based on the dependent personality disorder. And this is in cluster C, and of course, these individuals are anxious or fearful. Then we have the last one, last of the 10, obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Now, I did not say obsessive compulsive disorder, even though we do have an obsessive compulsive disorder. And quickly, an obsessive compulsive disorder is someone who is really honed into routine that affects their life. Washing their hands 50 times a day, turning a light switch on 10 times before they leave or when they enter a room, and just various routines like this. This is an OCD. This is an obsessive compulsive disorder. But what we're looking at here is an obsessive compulsive personality disorder. Now, I don't have anything against neatness, but we do know individuals who are exceptionally neat. Matter of fact, they might even wear the term, not necessarily my term, but it's a term that I've heard quite often, but the term of being a neat freak. And everything is in order, everything is lined up the way it should be, If anything is out of place, it has to be put in order. Okay, so these are the 3 clusters and the 10 personality disorders. Hope all is going well, and we'll see you on the next video. Until then, thank you and have a good day.